What about now? Yes. All right, let me turn it down. I apologize. That's what I get for moving my setup yesterday. Okay, I apologize. I apologize so much. It was just chaos yesterday because I moved my streaming setup from my previous streaming room up to my bedroom, and of course I'm sure I messed with a whole bunch of settings. So I apologize for everybody. So I don't want to hear myself because I have my audio in my ears, so I'm gonna pull that out for a second. But I'm sorry. Hopefully you saw my facial expressions so you can understand the excitement I have for this show starting today. Today is February 9th, 2020. I'm super excited to have everybody here and here joining us for the show. If you are brand new to either my channel or to the web show series at all, I'll let you know just basically what it is. It's called the Dog Squad Showcase. I created the showcase back in September, basically to have just go around and stream. I'm sorry, to interview other streamers on Mixer, kind of share their stories, share their background. You know, basically gather more information about them to give back to the community. It's the only way, or the best way I figure out to connect with the other streamers out there on Mixer in a more personal sense and try to get their story. Like I said, everybody has their own story of how they started streaming, why they started streaming, all that good stuff. And I figured, what better way than to interview them so they, not only my community, but other communities as well, can get to know them. So, like I said, I apologize for the hiccup in the beginning. Audio issues are the worst here. Ever since I got this new mic, I've just been trying to mess with all the settings, and apparently I just destroyed it. I'm glad you're here now. I appreciate everybody being here. Of course, I'm just going to do a quick run through of everybody's here so far. We got Ms. Dilladog with the host. Of course, the one I will be interviewing today, Mr. RodTheLeg, the awesome man himself, gave me the host as well. We got a follow from Basler. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. JM95 with the host. Tech Junkie, thank you for the follow, guys. Appreciate the love. I know there's gonna be a lot of new faces here for the web show, and I definitely don't mind it. But I just a couple of house rules and stuff like that that I want to go over during the interview, since it's gonna be real quick. Rod's got something that he has to take care of right after this interview, so I'm gonna try to get it done as soon as possible, as fast as possible. Just some house rules I want to go over is that during the whole interview, I'm basically just going to focus on Rod, let him answer the questions, get through everything as fast as possible. I may miss a lot of stuff that goes on through during chat, or stuff that is going to happen during chat, like posts, follows, whatever it may be. Embers, sparks. I probably won't call it out just because I want to respect him and respect his answers and not interrupt anything else. Like I said, we're kind of like on a gonna be a fast-paced interview, just because he's got stuff going on. I totally understand. So like I said, if I miss something, I apologize. If any of my mods want to catch it and just let them know that, you know, I'm not ignoring anybody on purpose. But I do appreciate all the love. And like I said, I want to get straight to the interview. So of course, if anybody doesn't know, I'm going to be interviewing RodTheLeg. He recently just got partnered here on Mixer, which is an awesome, amazing accomplishment. What everybody, or most everybody, is on the road to here on Mixer. If you haven't hit partnership, it's an amazing accomplishment. He definitely deserves it from what I've seen on his community, and I probably followed him for the last, I want to say I followed him about 6 months ago. Maybe during the summertime I followed him. He was playing Apex and he was killing it on there, and I met him through just a barrage of other streamers that have always recommended him. So he's definitely got an amazing community out there. If you don't follow him, if anybody in my community hasn't followed him yet, do yourself a favor, give that man a follow. Like I said, you don't want to miss his content. Recently partnered, and he definitely got it for appreciate everybody. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in Rod himself. There he is. Go, Rod. Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. That may be me. See, we're both struggling today. Oh my god. It's killed me plenty of times for sure, bro. It's all good. Hey, can everybody hear Rod though? Can y'all hear him? Mic check, Rod. Oh no. Uh-oh. right, try it again.
Try it again. Check, check, 1, 2.
There you go. I see him on my screen. Okay, awesome. Y'all hear him now. All right, good. So I like to hear. I don't want to go back and forth with this damn computer. Like I said, I apologize. Everything got totally switched around yesterday. I had to like almost basically hard reset my PC yesterday. I had to pull some stuff out. My GPU had to get pulled out. Some power supply stuff had to get pulled out. Just I don't know. It was going insane yesterday. I'm glad I got it fixed in time for the show because I was terrified that I was not gonna be able to. Glad everything worked out. I appreciate everybody being here. Of course, RodTheLeg. Like we're gonna get straight into the questions, guys. Like I said, he's got a very limited amount of time. So, Rod, do you want to tell us how you got started streaming and how your experience has been so far, man?
So it's kind of funny how I got started with this because I was I was a career infantryman in the army, so I'm not I'm still learning about the streaming stuff, but one of my friends just told me about it and was like, "Hey, you should try it." And then I had another cousin that was like, you should try it, and I think you would be good for it. And I did. I tried it, and I thought it was easy, that you just stream and people come and watch you, but I underestimated the grind, as people like to say. So yeah, just someone just they're just like, hey, you should try it, and I did, and you know um yeah, it's been a journey, though. I mean, there's a lot of, like most people, um this is not something that it's like common, or like common knowledge. So everything, you pretty much learn on your own. So I mean, that's how it's been for me, man. I mean, this is still like still new. I'm still learning. So yeah.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, that's what people don't understand. They, like you said, they do underestimate it. I know. I would say just about everybody, unless you know somebody personally that's probably started streaming and they kind of express their story. If you're going into it fresh, you have no idea what. So how did your setup start? Like, what did you end up using? Did you go straight to a PC or did you start off the console? What
No,
did you?
man, I still got a bootleg setup as we speak. Uh, I started just like with Xbox, streaming off the Xbox only. Um, and then I started using my laptop with Streamlabs, and then that was just, I have an old laptop, so it wasn't really working. So, little by little, then I switched to Lightstream. Then I was using Lightstream for a while, and then like around June timeframe, I got a gaming laptop, and then like even recently, I want to say like in October, I got a capture card, and then I added a green screen. So, but right now, like I just have a gaming laptop, a capture card, and that's it. Not much, not much gaming or streaming equipment. So that's gonna be like the next, evolution of you know the streaming career for me. So uh, definitely a lot to learn.
That's awesome, bro. I mean, it kind of gives an inspiration to everybody else who's probably thinking about getting into it. Like, I don't have the fancy equipment, either having not having a PC or just streaming off the Xbox. You definitely inspire a lot of people who are thinking about whether or not to dive into it because, like you said, you started from nothing. You started straight from the Xbox and built this massive, awesome community yourself. I mean, just starting off that way, and then you're kind of like adding pieces, versus the people that are going out there and spending thousands of dollars on a PC and, like you said, all this fancy equipment just to stream to one person. Like I said, it takes more than just having that fancy stuff. It takes building a community, making the community. That's what gets you to the point.
Yes, sir.
For sure, man. So what made you choose Mixer over all the other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitch?
Um, Honestly, I think it was like before Beam became Mixer. I believe the default program to stream was Twitch on
Mm-hmm.
like the Xbox, and I had that, but I didn't ever stream. Um, and so, I hate to say it, but by default, like Mixer was already there, and then I have also like other people that were like streaming and stuff that were kind of like, you know, Twitch is really difficult to try to grow on, and there's like a lot of toxicity. Um, and I never had that experience really much on Mixer. Like, even when I first started, it was, even though I didn't have any viewers or anything like that, I just, I just, when I started on it and I got hooked on it, and like, I mean, there's nothing really more much to say than this.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm just like, you know, I just look at it as like, kind of like that's like the branch, that I wanted to like move forward, and I made it a point to just stick with Mixer, and I haven't looked into like any of the other platforms because I'm a loyal person, so like like Mixer is where it's at in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, bro.
Live, breathe, and eat Mixer.
Yeah, like, did you know anybody else that was streaming on Mixer? Did you have any like, prior knowledge going in?
No,
Or you just
man,
jumped into it?
it's I just like I said, I completely underestimated this. I really thought that there was nothing to it, that you just literally stream, play, and then just people are gonna just start flooding in. Um, I mean, I didn't know none of about this like networking, and I mean, it's just been like like a huge learning curve for me, especially since I came from like the army. Did 14 years in the army before I was medically retired, and you know, like I have always played video games throughout my life. Um, but
Sponsored by Caprisa.
one day, so like like I said, I'm still learning the streaming stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand, you know, and I'm learning each and every day. But I think that one thing that has helped me is just that, you know, me being in the army for so long and interacting with, people from all different walks of life, um, gives, gives me not an advantage, but it sets up like a good like foundation for me because like Mixer is just amazing. There's just so many people, like from all over the place, different ages, different, like everything. And so it's
Backgrounds, cultures, everything, man.
yeah, so I really enjoy it, and this is awesome.
Yeah, and that was like kind of the amazing thing to me when I first started streaming. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think I thought it was just mainly gonna be Americans watching me and stuff like that. But I ended up getting like a huge crowd from the UK, all the way to Greece, Italy, and stuff like that. And it's just been amazing meeting people all over the world, dude. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. That's probably been the best thing about this meeting everybody. At least you were in the military, so you got the experience, stuff outside of the U.S. You know, I bounced around. I was a kid because my parents were in the Air Force. So but by the time my mom got out, she was already back in the States, and I didn't get to like my siblings did. They got to spend time in Spain, in Germany, and like that. But I was too young. By the time I was born, my mom was already ready to get out of the Air Force. Didn't get to experience that, but like just meeting people from everywhere has been absolutely probably the best thing. So
Yeah, that's
um,
crazy thing.
mm-hmm. Uh, do you feel like since you've started streaming that it's interfered with your own personal life?
No, no. And but the reason for that is just because I mean, you'll hear me say this like over and over, and I preach it because I practice it, and that is having balance between streaming and your personal life. Uh, so that is very important because I think like a lot of people get caught up with like, oh, I stop streaming, then I'm gonna lose momentum. I'm not gonna, you know, like people are gonna forget about me, and then I'm gonna have to start all over. And I've always said that like the people that truly support you are always gonna be there no matter what. No
Yeah,
one is gonna be upset. I mean, we all have lives. You have a life. All the viewers have lives. They have school, work. Extracurricular activities, what have you. Um, and the other part of me is that like since I was in the military, uh, like military life is difficult, especially if you have families.
Hmm.
So you need to be able to, when you have that time to spend with your family, you better take advantage of it.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, you never know, if you're gonna have training or if you're gonna be deployed or whatever. But so I now that I'm out and I'm able to spend time with my family, like
Hmm.
that's always gonna be my main priority, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and my loving wife, and my wife is a big reason why I'm even able to do this because she truly supports me in everything I do. So um,
Huge
yeah,
shout out to happy birthday to her too. So
I
I want to make sure
appreciate
I
that.
said
Yeah, and so
it.
my wife is amazing because like I have some like memory issues, but she was like, "Go ahead." She's like, "I'm not mad at you," and I was like, "Okay." So she's good with it. So I couldn't do this without her. So big shout out to the wife.
Yeah, there's definitely people behind the scenes that definitely support you and push you to not only become a a better streamer, but of course a better person. So definitely gotta get shout out to the wives. My own wife, she helps me a lot too, and she pushes me and she definitely supports me. If she didn't, then I wouldn't be here at all. So I definitely owe a lot to her, even though I may not express it all the time. I do owe a ton to her for even making it this far because she's helped me come up with ideas and even put up with me putting my stream set up in the bedroom, which is it could have been a huge fight, but we had to make some sacrifices and move some stuff in our own personal lives as well. So that's why it's up here now. But she gave me the green light, and she could have definitely stepped in and said, "Nope, I'm not doing it. You have to find somewhere else to do it or find another way to do it." But she helped me out, so
Yeah,
um, that's just we're very lucky, definitely very lucky. So um,
that's what's up, Miss Dilla Dog.
she puts up with me for sure for 3.5 years, almost going on 4. So, um, I would say we're kind of going into that how life changing outside your own personal relationship or your family life. How life changing has it been since you started streaming?
Um, Honestly, I can truly say that it hasn't had really much of an impact because I mean I'm very lucky like to be in a position where I'm at. So like I
Hmm.
said, I'm medically retired from the army. So
Okay.
I have I'm being taken care of. I got my retirement income coming in and all that.
Yeah.
And plus, like I've always, like I said, I've always played video games. Um, even like the times that I was deployed in Iraq or Afghanistan, anytime that I had the opportunity to play video games or whatever, like I've started playing games since like the Atari days.
Oh yeah.
So
Old school gamer.
yeah, so I've gone through every system, every game. Um, and so I kind of just like so I was just like I play video games anyway, so might as well, that's the other part that prompted me to start streaming.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm able to do it. But like I said, just the key thing is having that balance because I have a set schedule. I mean, when I first started streaming, like I was doing like 8 hour plus days with zero viewers. It was just like
Yeah.
and I think that's where people get discouraged because they're like,
Hmm.
I've been streaming for 8+ hours and I only have one viewer and it wasn't working, so
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
stop.
People don't understand how to get themselves out of that rut. I mean, everybody starts at zero, but you got to push your brand and push yourself, and there's some stuff so maybe some aesthetics you can add, like you said. Just adding a camera does so much more for your audience because they like to see your person and see your expressions and see react to the game. That means a lot to them. Honestly, it's not everything. I know there's a lot of successful streamers that don't have a camera too, but they kind of make up with it in other ways, for their stream and their entertainment, I guess, value and stuff like that. So you know and we all have to start somewhere for sure. We have to figure it out ourselves and have a little bit of help from everybody outside and have some support to get us out of that zero. That's the biggest thing, honestly.
And
um
and
yeah, go
just
ahead.
just to add to that, um, is that I always tell people this too is that what works for you may not work for me and vice versa.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like I say, like just having enough tools in your toolbox to utilize, so like I'm always like listening, paying attention, learning. So like, if I hear somebody say something, I may or may not take their advice if
Yeah.
it if it's gonna be helpful for me. So that's one of the other things that I see with some people that like I always tell everybody like not one thing may work for you but it may not work for others. So just keep trying
Yeah.
different things until you find your what works for you, and then just stick with it. And Charlie Mike, continue mission.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Um, what do your friends, and close family outside of streaming think of the idea of you now a partner streamer, not just a regular streamer, a partner streamer?
Well, well, I would say my mom is a non-believer. She's just like traditional like Hispanic woman that's like, hey, that's you're just making up excuses because all you want to do is play video games, blah blah blah. Um, as far as other people, like my close friends, like even some of my military buddies, like this is still like kind of new to people, at least from like my you know like my family and friends. Like I have
Hmm.
a few friends, but it's still something that's like you know like new to people. So when I talk about it, sometimes they're like, "So all you just play video games?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's more to that,
Yeah.
And they kind of think the same thing that I thought originally was that it's easy, anybody can do it, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna be successful immediately. And
You
I
be
guess
the next
what I'll find
ninja.
out is not. Yeah, exactly. It's not the case at all. So, but though my true supporters are my wife and my son, my 8-year-old son. Everybody
Awesome.
else is kind of like, they're just like non-believers. They're just kind of like, you know, oh, they didn't even know that there's an actual like industry for like streaming and all that stuff. So
Exactly.
you know, I think it's fairly unknown still, even though like like for example, Mixer has been around for like a few years, but
Hmm.
it's not a lot of people know about it. So
Even Twitch. I mean, you can go back several years ago when Twitch. Twitch has been a monster for so long, just because it was leading the industry and all this kind of stuff. So
yeah,
not only games. I mean, they recognize the people that do IRL stuff or crafts or anything. Just people like go there and do web shows and podcasts just like this, and pull great numbers and have amazing communities. I mean, like you said, a lot of people are just ignorant to what this is, what this industry is, and what it can be. This basically could take over live TV. Like that's what this is for everybody. When people come and check you out, this is their entertainment. This is their TV show that they like to check in and binge watch. Basically, they'll sit there for several hours. As long as they don't got anything else going on. I'm sorry. So I mean, this is what we are. We're content creators for everybody, and not everybody understands it. But I think it's on us, especially for me, if I want to build an established community, is getting those new people that probably don't understand what it is and bringing them in, because they're fresh viewers. That they're going to be your streamer that they're going to support and be there for. And I think it concretes them into your community. I mean, there's still other people. I mean, I would never tell people not to watch anybody else. There's tons of great people. I'm not the only streamer out there, and you're not the only streamer out there. We're
yeah,
all going to show love to each other, and we're all going to try to support each other the best we can. But I think, like I said, like bringing that new audience, especially for Mixer, since we're so small, that would be the biggest thing for us. And that's what I would want to do with my communities: bring new people, never been around for it.
yep. And you're absolutely right, man. This is just the beginning. This Mixture is still growing. This whole streaming is growing. So
Yeah,
sky's the limit, man.
exactly. Um, I don't think I asked you. I know you live out in the West Coast. I think you said you live in California.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll just quick question. What do
The
you think is
West
the
Coast,
best?
the best coast.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure in being in the military, you met a lot of Texans, and we love
Yeah.
Texas. That's all to say. But above everything else, we love Texas. So, what do you think is the best thing and worst thing about living in California? I know what the worst thing is, but you can tell me what the best thing is.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man. I mean, if honestly, if it weren't for my son, my 8-year-old son, I would probably be living in Texas or Nevada or
Mhm.
like Florida, just because of the crazy taxes and like for everything, not just like products, but like the housing market.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of mine's, which is like that has to do with like the Second Amendment, because I'm
Yeah.
uh, a gun owner and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff. But the one thing that keeps me here is the weather for sure. We have the best
Oh
weather.
yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
Dry, perfect year-round weather. So, but besides that, man, that's is I think the taxes, man, the taxes is what be killing us over here, like for sure.
That's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I mean, we have a lot of people, especially being here in Texas. People, Californians love to move out to Texas. We have so many people, especially in Austin, Houston, and stuff like that. They like the big cities, so they'll move to those cities. Austin's, one of the super liberal cities here in Texas.
Yeah,
Like I said,
Texas
we're
is big,
super
Mr.
pro A,
Marvel. I
pro
love
2A.
Texas too. The only thing I
Yeah.
would do though is see, I'm not a huge. I'm probably gonna, offend somebody, but I'm not a huge Whataburger fan. I would take my In and Out over there any day.
That's all right. I'm gonna let you speak your story. It's okay. I'm not gonna say anything but In and Out. It's all right. I know in my heart Whataburger is way better, but it's okay. Everybody has their own opinion. That's amazing, man. I like visiting California. Me and my wife have gone out there once together. And a quick story. So we drove out to Vegas, and we just happened to be out in Vegas for a week. But we took a day to go out to LA, and that was like the worst idea ever. We drove through. When we went to Malibu, that was the one thing. Was like, oh man, we're gonna go to Malibu. We're gonna see celebrities. The roads are gonna be made of gold and all that stuff. And we drive down there, and it's absolutely nothing like I thought it was. Like there's nice beaches, but I guess I expected to see mansions and all this nice stuff, and there was nothing out there. So that was my letdown for going to Malibu. The beach was okay. It was freezing cold. I think we went in like March. The water was still freezing cold, but it was nice. I guess scenery for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It
That's one
can be
thing.
it can be deceiving though. Same thing with Los Angeles sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Going to Hollywood and seeing hobos everywhere instead of seeing celebrities was another letdown
yep.
too. I didn't like LA. I want to go to NorCal and like maybe see San Fran and like go up there a little bit. The nicer scenery. That's my plan. So you live like I guess you live in SoCal?
Yeah, Southern California. So
Okay.
I was born and raised in the city of Pomona. So, by the way, I think I had talked to you like I think I was in your stream or either on Discord, but because I had asked you about Live PD because I know
Oh
that,
yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
because they're filming in my hometown right now. So you one day, one Friday, you are gonna see me on that show, but not in a negative way though. I
Yeah,
promise, I promise. I'm scheming right now. I'm scheming on Live PD.
yeah. Oh, man. You can be like wearing your RodTheLeg shirt and everything, right? You can be promoting yourself basically through Live PD.
Yep. Yep. I
Have
gotta
like a
do it.
banner. Have your kids out there like holding the banner up or something.
Yep.
That'd be funny. I'm waiting for that, dude. I want to see that. um, outside of streaming or gaming, what kind of hobbies do you have outside of this?
Um, Honestly, not much so right now. So
Okay.
the thing is that that like I'm very close to like my like immediate family. So like the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is just my self development, and it specifically regards to like helping my PTSD and stuff like that. So like
Mhm.
and that because I was medically, like I said, I was medically retired from the army. So
Yeah.
I I go, I have like weekly, therapy appointments, and I got a bunch of other medical appointments that I got to go to. So besides that, like I am involved with like a couple like nonprofits like Semper Fi Fund and Wounded Warrior Project. So whenever I get
Awesome.
invites to go do events with them, like I almost always sign up, and you know, and just kind of like go hang out with other like veterans. I haven't done much anything since I've been out where I moved to, because when because I was living in San Diego before I came over here. When I was in San Diego, I was still
Hmm.
doing like volunteer stuff. because that's always been like my thing. I like to be hands on, and so hopefully here, like after, I'm in a better place, I guess I can say, then I want to start doing some more volunteer work and stuff. Uh, but because I haven't, it's been like a few months since I've worked out. I was really into MMA, so like I was a jiu-jitsu practitioner, but I haven't
Okay.
practiced it in a while. Just mainly focus, and then my daughter keeps me busy too. So
She's your workout every day.
yeah, so yeah, so
That's
not
awesome.
so much right now.
Okay.
I've been really focused on the streaming stuff, and like trying to build something, and just trying to support other people as well, because that's actually what takes up a lot of my time, like in the mornings specifically, is
Yeah.
like I'm just going around and just chatting with people, just trying to show support, everywhere, because
Exactly.
trying to show that mixer love.
Yeah. That's what
One
we
that
all
my
preach, man.
penny keeps me keep busy too.
Yeah.
Come here, come say hi to Dill Dog. Come here.
She's got to make an appearance. She's the star of the show, right?
Yep, she's the star.
That's the logo and everything, like right below him. That's how you got
See?
everything. So,
Right there. Look.
no,
Oh.
maybe she's looking up. She's focused on something in the ceiling.
Yeah, so she hates balloons. She's a weirdo. She hates balloons. And I went and I got my wife birthday balloons. And
Oh,
yeah, that's
okay,
what I was like, what is she staring at? But that's what she's staring at, balloons.
okay. Boston Terrier.
Yeah, she's a Boston Terrier.
Okay, awesome. I always get those like when I see some of those, and because they have the pointy ears, I think they're French bulldogs. They got like really cool like features.
Yeah,
But then
they
she
do.
has like a longer snout, so now I can see her from the side. She looks that's awesome. Is she actually like a service animal? Is that what she does for you?
No. So
Okay.
before, I was thinking about making her an, a service animal, but
Hmm.
her temperament is not good for the specific type of job. And I used to train service mobility dogs before,
Okay.
so I mean she does have some training, but it's very minimal, because like I said, certain breeds are just, they're not going to be good to be service animals. And then I'm not the type of person to, you know to go like on Amazon and just get like a vest that says, service animal on
Yeah.
it, and then try to work the system, because that's just not
Yeah.
me. So he's more like an emotional support animal, if anything.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's awesome, dude. She's very, very beautiful. I love Boston Terriers, especially. I like her coat.
yeah, she's all right. Trying to get her to like look at you guys,
There you go.
but
Well,
she's
she's camera shy.
she's like, this dang balloon is in my way.
I have to get you in touch, man, because if you don't know, I have an old English bulldog, and our breeder, she actually like breeds those dogs to become service animals. So I might have to get you in touch with her. She's an amazing woman. She has a nonprofit organization where she breeds, these bulldogs, and then about half of the breed, if not more, will go specifically to veterans, with this, disabilities and stuff like that. So I think from what I've heard, their temperaments are really awesome for becoming service animals. There's a lot of them that she's already sent out, and she'll
Yeah,
travel. She doesn't care where you are. As long as you're in the States, if the upper 49, she'll travel across the country and deliver these dogs and try to set you up with somebody who you know will train these dogs to become service animals for you. She does amazing work, man. She's an amazing woman.
yeah.
I may have to get in touch with you off stream and let you know about that, because that's where I got mine. I mean, not only was I supporting her nonprofit, but I was buying an awesome dog. He's just, besides being super lazy and farting half the time, he is a really great dog. He's really good with kids, and he's really great with with people in general. So I really love him. So does everybody else, man. They love him. I'm trying to move on as fast as I
No,
can.
you're good. Yeah, we got time, because
Okay.
my wife already took off, so I told her that I was gonna meet
Okay.
meet up with them, so we're good.
um, I guess just from from you starting, like I said, starting off from 0 viewers to becoming mixer partner, what is the best advice you can give to somebody who's just starting off or thinking about becoming a content creator?
Um, well, one of the biggest things is like saying picking and choosing what works for you, um, and not like because that's one of the biggest things is that like some people will try to tell you, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, um, but just picking and choosing what works for you, and then my opinion or recommendation would to be just take your time, start off slow, like you mentioned as well, like because I think I had somebody tell me one time that, oh, like you should just, like go and buy everything right now and have it set up. And, I was like, I'm not gonna, I mean, because some people have some really nice setups, man, like up to
Yeah.
5,000 plus dollars. I was, it's not that I didn't believe in myself or anything like that, but I wasn't willing to invest in something that right away without actually knowing what I was getting myself into,
Yeah.
because I mean I don't think I'm the only one that has gone through this, but I think like at some point, people when they start off and they're streaming for long hours at a time, and they have the 0 to like 1 viewer. Some people get discouraged. Some people think about quitting. I mean, I had those moments too. It was just like,
Yeah.
you know, um, but every just paying attention, taking what works for you, and making it for yourself, goes a long way. One thing I will say is like that you maybe think about is having a schedule. A lot
Yeah.
of people, some people might disagree, but I think that that's the one of the things that definitely worked for me, and I know for other people is having a set schedule, because like you said, we are creating our own entertainment, right? So imagine like trying to think of like a popular TV show. I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
If you love watching The Simpsons and they just started airing it at random times, you're gonna lose interest, or you're gonna have a hard time, keeping up with it. So, having that set schedule for me has been really like important, because then people already know when you're coming on, you
Yeah.
know, and like what I do, like if like I got to go do something, I know the dog's coming on at this time, so let me open up a tab for him and watch him, support him, so like that's one of the key things. What else? I would say also talking to the chat. Like I'm guilty of this too, because I'm still trying to improve, but I'm kind of limited with my current setup, because like I only have like a small like um, laptop, and then like I play in my living room, so I play on my big screen, so it looks like I'm looking up, but I'm really looking like in front,
Yeah.
and so like I noticed that like I would get so immersed into games that I wouldn't even pay attention. And so like people would come in regularly, and they would say hi, and I would, since I wouldn't acknowledge them, they would just leave. And I didn't have mods either back then, so
Yeah.
they weren't able to catch that.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to think. I kind of wish I would have been a little bit more prepared.
It's all good. It's stuff coming off the head is a lot better too, so it doesn't matter. I will touch on something though, like you said, schedule. Like I know we talked about it even like in the beginning of the interview, having that schedule gives it a balance. Like I know, like hey, I'm streaming 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. I know what times I'll have, for my family. I can spend time with the kids before, and I can spend time with the wife after I'm done streaming. Like you have that perfect balance. I used to have that schedule when I first started streaming, and I wish I can go back to it. Like I was working 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. doing Friday through Wednesday. So Wednesday would be my Friday. Essentially, I'd be off Thursday and Friday. Um, so I could stream, Friday night, Saturday night, all the way. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it would be Friday night. Friday night all the way until Tuesday. I thought I would take off Tuesday and Wednesday. from 11 p.m. to at least 3 a.m. if not later. Like I was one of those vampires for a long time. But like you said, everybody knew when to show up. I would be there at 11 o'clock sharp. I wouldn't miss a stream, for those days unless I had something come up with either vacation or whatever. But I would be there all the time. And dude, my numbers went crazy just because I knew everybody knew I had the schedule and I would be there to be on stream and they could expect me to be there. So it builds that relationship with everybody. Um, and that was like the biggest thing for me. Ever since then, like I had to change schedules back in July, and I've had to like just stream when I can, basically because my weeks alternate. Like I'll be off for 5 days one week, and then I'll only be off 2 days for one week. Like it's so crazy. I hate it, and that's one of the big things I have. But I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. My real job comes before anything. This is what brings the money. This is why I can stream and be here for everybody. So I have to put that above everything else. But it's time. It's gonna change once I can change positions in my department, and hopefully get a easier schedule, or just a basic schedule for everybody to be there. But it is what it is. I have to deal with it just like anything else. Real life comes first before this, and my community understands it. At least for the most part, they understand what I do and why I do it. So
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, see, like I always I do have people that come to me and they ask me for advice, um,
hmm
and I always tell them that by no means am I a subject matter expert with anything streaming related. You
hmm
know, I've learned everything on my own at the beginning. It wasn't until like I want to say like maybe June time frame where I started like talking with more streamers um, and then started networking more. Um, but like for me, the biggest thing that has made me like successful
hmm
is viewer interaction.
yeah,
And because I remember like when I first started streaming, all I would play was PUBG every single day. Um, and like I was grinding on that game back then. Like I want to, because it's been a year, so
yeah,
it's gonna be a year next month. So like hype zones before were a lot better,
they were.
you
Yeah,
know.
especially on PUBG, dude. It was crazy.
So like that was my whole goal. It's just like, okay, let me just let me play PUBG because if I get hype zone, that's how I'm gonna get an exposure, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just fixated on that, and I'm a pretty decent gamer as far as like I'm pretty good. Once I'm stick to a game, then I'm able to develop skill. After a while. So like I was always getting those top tens, so that I can get in the hype zone and all that.
Yeah.
But the biggest opportunity that I had or that I missed at that time was that people would come into the chat and they would say, "Can I play with you?" And I would be like, "No." I would always say no.
Yeah.
Um, because my mentality was different. I was kind of like, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to, get all the wins and all that other stuff. I mean, because at one point I was like, I was ranked top 100 in the world in solos for PUBG.
Nice, dude.
Because like I said, I used to play like every single day, but it wasn't like until not that long ago. I want to say like in October time frame.
hmm
The second time I got denied for partnership, that's when I was like, I need to do something. You know what I mean? Like some people get highly discouraged when they get denied for partnership, but
Yeah.
like, I was like, I need to do something, because the
hmm
second time I got denied, like I kind of rebranded myself. I got a new logo. I created Penny's Battleground.
hmm
Um, and then I was like, actually, my son is the one that kind of put things in perspective for me because he was like, um, I think it might have been he might have mentioned Ninja, but he was like, oh, I wish I could play with him, or like he wants to play with streamers, or something like
yeah.
that. And I was just like, he said something like, oh, but they'll never play with me because I'm just a kid or something like that. And then I was just like, when people come in and they want to play with you,
hmm
you should whether you're good or not, or famous
Yeah.
or whatever, if somebody comes into your chat and they want to play with you, you should take it as it's a good sign. Like
Yeah.
they found something about your personality, your channel, or whatever that they want to play with you. So
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing. After that, I was just like, you know what? I don't care about being the best. I don't care, about getting all the wins. Like I
Yeah.
want to create something where, if somebody wants to play with me, like let's do this. There's
Yeah.
the point is having fun.
You do have a couple of requirements. So like I've seen your rules. Like you mentioned like if you're gonna be in a party chat, don't be screaming. I don't want to hear baby mama screaming in the background.
Yeah, no, but and seeing the reason for that is because you know, like I do have hearing loss.
Yeah.
'Cause, of the my military service and stuff like that. So like it's distracting for me sometimes and I can't hear.
I understand.
And I have everything on there, like um I always let people know though, because certain games like Fortnite, for example, there's a lot of kids on that. And I always tell people like, hey, you know, Mixer's TOS states that if you're
Mm-hmm.
13 years of age or younger, you're not authorized to have. So like I'm aware of all this stuff too, but like
Yeah, exactly.
if somebody wants to play with me, I'm never gonna turn them down.
Yeah.
If they say, hey, I'm 8 years old, I'm gonna be like, oh, sorry, buddy, I can't
Yeah.
play with you, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna I do things by the book.
Yeah.
But
And that's what they expect, especially that's what they want out of their partners or future partners.
yeah, but
That's what they want to see.
so like for me, the game changer was the viewer interaction. So,
Mm-hmm.
like I know like for me, I like playing VR type games. I used to be really into Call of Duty before,
Mm-hmm.
um, up until like I discovered PUBG. But you know, certain games are better for viewer interaction than others.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I always tell people, and you'll hear me say this on my Discord or whatever. I always say that the the key to success is interaction with your viewers, because they're the ones that are going to be coming in and watching you know what I mean, and
Exactly.
and you want to have a healthy balance of like streaming viewers and just
Mm-hmm.
viewers that just like to watch and play with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean,
Totally understand that, man.
so the viewer interaction is probably like one of the biggest things that I'm going to say, like, because that like really just like you know jump started me. And actually, it was also where's Crazy Chick up in here, because I think I saw her, but she made me do a 12-hour stream like back in like November,
She
and then
forced you.
yeah, she like forced me. Um, and after that point on, like it was just crazy. Like you know I've been consistently getting the same people coming back over and over. So
Good,
that
man.
really helped out a lot.
That's good. And yeah, of course, you have the good mods, that are in your chat and helping you out with everything that's going on. Like I said, there's going to be times like when you're in a top 3 situations, like Apex or whatever you're playing, and you're not going to have the time to focus on the game. There's people that can keep chat going, or say hi to somebody. Just something as simple as saying hi to somebody that's brand new to the channel can mean the world to them, because that's what they want to see. Like most of the people want to come and have interaction with their streamer. They don't want to just sit there and there may be the few that will actually just want to sit and watch gameplay. They don't want to hear you talk, but a lot of them expect to have that interaction. That's why they come to these streams and hang out with you. That's why they come back.
Yeah, I'm very like when everybody does it. I don't care who it is. When you're playing like certain games, and then you're like close to like either scoring a goal or getting
You see me on FIFA.
you're just like I do it all the time. I'm just like, all right, I'm sorry guys, I'll get back to you right now, and and like I'm doing my
Yeah.
thing, and so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. Like a lot of people like I get focused on FIFA a lot, so I understand. I'll tell them like I'll be in the middle of a game, like guys, just give me a second. I will come back to you and just focus on the game for like 2 seconds, and as soon as I get a stop, I'll come back and talk to you. So I totally understand that, man. This is one of those games where you have to like have full concentration on the game, and if it's competitive, at least if I'm playing a friendly against somebody else, I don't give really crap what happens. I'm just there to have fun. But if it's like a competitive thing, I will definitely focus on the game. But people want that interaction for sure. That's why they come back.
Yep, and I have Vamp right here, always reminding me of stuff too.
Yeah, there's always those good people in your community, man. That would definitely help you out for sure. It's awesome to have those people. I love it. Make sure we didn't miss anything else, man. Let me see. Oh, I know we did kind of touch on it a little bit, but I wanted to get your own personal perspective. Were there any time where you had like any doubts or fears while you're streaming? Like, man, this is not for me. Like I said, you got denied before you got partnership. So was there any point at that time you were like, man, I need to give up. This is not for me.
I mean, like I've had those those thoughts even up until like not too long ago because like not just myself but a lot of people invest a lot of their personal time into this, um and I got accepted my third time around.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I applied, I knew I shouldn't have applied, but I applied anyway because like I was still kind of like I said new. I didn't really know much. I
Yeah.
was one of those people that were like kind of like, oh, I met this criteria, I'm gonna make it, and that's what most people think. They're like 2,000 followers, must be streaming for 24 hours. You know, People think that once you do those like a couple of things that you're gonna be like good to go, and it's not.
Yeah.
And then with the second time around, I think my average CCU at the time was like 55, and I
Okay.
was just like kind of like I was like, what, like because when I first applied, I was playing PUBG mostly, and on there it said that the emails were more detailed before. Now they're a little bit more vague
Okay.
because they don't give you a number. But before they told me that I needed 40 concurrent viewers per stream. And so, when I applied the second time, I was like, oh, I'm at 55, so I'll be good to
Yeah.
go, and then, you know, like even times when you do stream, sometimes you know, like I have certain times, like when I was streaming, I had to change my schedule around to see where it fit. Because before, when I used to stream in the morning, like in the morning time, I wouldn't really have people coming in or chatting. So when
Mm-hmm.
you see stuff like that, and you see your numbers drop or whatever, like stuff like that does discourage you, uh,
Yeah.
when you're trying to like make it, I guess. So like another piece of advice would just be like, just stream to have fun. Don't, I know it's hard to not look at numbers or look at your peers' numbers and stuff like that, but
We're all guilty of it, man. We're all
but once
guilty
you
of it.
start doing that, it like messes with your head, and then you know a lot of people internalize that, and then some people are just like, screw this, I'm done. um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but even up until recently, man, even up until like I applied this time around, I was kind of hesitant. I mean, because like I mean, I think it's gonna happen with everybody. Even with this third time around that I applied, I was doubting myself, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna make it. I was like, I had applied at the wrong time. Because all I play is like mostly Apex. I play this other game called Bomber Crew from time to time. Like at the beginning of my stream, because
Yeah.
that's always been my thing. I enjoy that game, but I was like, damn it, I timed this incorrectly because I applied last Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and they lost my application.
Oh my
So
god.
I had to contact them and say, hey, you know, um, I didn't get the confirmation email, and then they're like, when did you apply, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And season 2 came out, and if you look at the directory on Apex right now,
Mm-hmm.
it is crazy. Like,
Absolutely nuts right now.
yeah, like
Everybody's playing it.
when like previously before, like last month, for example, um, like about 60 viewers or so, I was still sitting in the top 10.
Yeah.
And right now, like with 60 viewers, you're gonna be like in 20th place, So I was even doubting myself this time. I was like, man, I was like, it's not gonna happen, But
Yeah.
I think it's something that everybody is gonna experience at one point, and it's also something that I would tell people that they should prepare themselves mentally, so that they don't get like discouraged. I mean,
Exactly.
so there's people that apply for partnership like 8 9 times before getting partnered. Some people are first time go. Just the by nature we're gonna like look at each other and compare and all that other stuff, but
Yeah.
what you do after.
I know I can speak personally. Like I haven't applied yet. I'm nearing 3K followers, but that like it doesn't mean anything. Like I said, you reach 2K and apply, but I just haven't been happy with my numbers. Personally, I want to get to that point. I want to be one of those guys that can apply one time and get in. Like I'm afraid of denial and getting that application or that letter back. I'm like, no, you're not good enough. I guess I wouldn't be so upset as long as I get good feedback from them. Like, hey, this is what you're missing. Your numbers are great, your community engagement is good, but maybe you need to work on social media, or maybe you need to work on something else, or
Yeah,
maybe your stream is lagging, or your audio is messed up, or whatever reason. Something like that. As long as I get good feedback and understand what I need to work on, that's all it takes for me. Like,
yeah,
I just don't want to get the letter back and be like, oh, you're not good enough. Do something else.
yeah, and that's
That's what I've been afraid of, because that's what I've heard people have gotten before. That's why I've been so scared to like really apply and not get that good feedback.
and then I think like also for me, and this might possibly apply to you. I'm entirely sure that it does. Like you know, like in the military and even in law enforcement, right?
Hmm.
You have a set standard for something, right?
Yeah,
So tell you X, Y, and Z needs to be conducted before for promotion or whatever, right? So like it's
yeah,
completely outlined, so
just
you
black and
know
white.
exactly what you need to do.
Yeah,
And so like with that, when I got the email, like I said, like even like the second one was kind of vague, so it was like highly discouraging for me because I was like I need to know exactly what I need to do so that I can go ahead, like and
yeah,
move forward. But um but just seeing the that verbiage, like we had determined that you did not meet the criteria and we will not be moving, like it gets to a lot of people, you know
yeah,
it got to me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
yeah,
man, I suck.
yeah. I can understand, man. Like it feels like a heartbreak. Like you're asking a girl out and she's like, nope. I was like, what am I, ugly, or am I not entertaining, or what am I doing wrong?
Very true.
It's a huge heartbreak for a lot of people. Believe me, like not only yourself, but a lot of people that I've known. Like I've done a ton of research, especially the people who've gotten denied, and trying to get feedback from them. Is like, why are you getting denied? What are they giving you back? Is this something I need to work on? That like not necessarily comparing myself to another channel, but they could be doing something I'm doing in a similar situation, and if it's not working out for them, or if Mixer doesn't like it, then I can learn from them, at least learn from their mistakes, right? And I would say to you, you're gonna have, you thought you had people come and ask you questions before, it's gonna come even tenfold now that you're a partner, because people are gonna want to know, how did you get partnership? What do I need to do? So I would just at least prepare yourself, like it's gonna be coming, especially from your community. You have a lot of people that are not partners that are on the verge of becoming a partner. They're gonna want to know from the man himself. How did you build this empire? What do I need to do? To become the next Mixer partner. So that's what I would just like give my 2 cents to you and give you advice for
Like
sure.
literally put that down on my notepad.
Like I said, you had great answers for everything. For the people who are thinking about becoming a partner, just have those quick answers. And is anything that you see from the people, they may not want to take that advice, but if people come to you and ask for advice, you know, have that quick opinion about what they do. Like if you pop into someone's channel, like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong. You're not talking in your chat enough. You're just sitting there staring at the screen and playing the game. You may be talking about the game, but you're totally disregarding what your chat is. What's happening in your chat. You need to mind the trolls. Be thankful for the follows, for the hosts, for the sparks, whatever they do, because like I said, the community is the number one thing. They're there for you. They're doing all this stuff for you, and that's what should be the main priority above everything. The game can come second.
Yeah, and just to touch on what Vamp said is, I do like I said, I'm still new to the streaming stuff, so I don't understand it because you know, I was I got out as a staff sergeant in the army, um, and my job as a leader of soldiers has always been to teach my subordinates my job, so that
Yeah.
I build them up, and I don't ever withhold like information from them. So everything that I was instilled in me, I do that to them, and that's one of the things I
Yeah.
noticed with some people is that they will withhold information. Me, like on my Discord, I'm always like, I would post like my emails that I got in, or like I always let people know everything, like because
Yeah.
that's the best way to learn, because that's
Very
one thing
transparent with everybody.
I don't understand why some people like to withhold information though, because I have had that experience where I'm like, I ask people
Hmm.
and they're just like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean? Didn't you get a letter, like, help a brother out?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I don't feel like I feel the same way as you. I don't feel there's any need to like not share that with your community because, like I said, a lot of your community is streamers themselves. They all want to get to where you are. They all want to. We all want to learn from each other, whether it's good or bad. I mean, there's got to be something in there. You can't. They will have that better relationship with you, knowing that you're transparent and you're not going to hold anything back from them, and you're going to develop them, and that's what they will appreciate the most. Like I'm sure your subordinates in the military appreciate what you did for them because you developed them to be, like you said, develop them to become the next staff sergeant, because they're going to be under you one day. Like if you promote above that, they're going to be under you, and you want to know that you can rely on them because you pass that information along to them, and vice versa. Honestly, it goes both ways.
Yep.
Let's see. So now that you're a partner for Mixer, what do you think is the future of Mixer? What do you see coming in the future for them and for everybody else?
Well, I've been, like I said, I love Mixer, so I see nothing but growth coming. You know what I mean? And then like, I mean, I'm sure you and everybody else who's in chat, who has the social media, has seen a lot of either partners or other streamers leaving this platform to go to a different one. Um,
Yeah,
and like, just kind of like just jumping ship without having actual like data or something, like showing, I mean, Mixer's not going anywhere, man. In my opinion, it's only going
yeah,
to get bigger. Like I said, we were talking about this earlier too. You know, the whole streaming um industry is not well known, like like other things. Like I think you even said that, like, this is like the next form of entertainment.
mm-hmm.
We're creating our own entertainment, and it's only going to get bigger, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I truly believe in Mixer. I think that it's like 5 years from now it's going to be bigger than it was, like um so I'm just happy to be a part of, like, history, you know what I mean, like this,
yeah,
the streaming history. So um I just, I think we'll have these, you know um or hopefully one day I get to be the next, ninja, because he's like everywhere now,
exactly.
but like for me, like, I want to use like my like position to like uh to kind of, I mean, like right now I'm working on a like a little side like charity for like one of my buddies, um
Okay.
who was
Hey, you can promote it if you want to. Let everybody know if anybody doesn't know about it.
oh, I appreciate that. Well,
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
have I have it going on on my like on my channel. So like he's one of my buddies. I met him when I was working at Walter Reed. So I used to be a squad leader for what they call Warrior Transition Brigade. So my job was to help soldiers transition either back into the army or out.
Okay.
And all those guys were wounded, ill, or injured. And he was a double leg amputee, or he is a double leg amputee. And he created this nonprofit called Veteran Enhancement Project, where they build Harley Davidsons, but for service members who have, like a severe injuries. And so, he's able to, um, you know, even though hasn't have legs, he still can ride a motorcycle. So like
Okay.
I want to continue doing that. Like I'm working on some other stuff with like Wounded Warrior Project, for example. I'm hoping to be like, you know, I want to represent them along with some other
Yeah.
nonprofits. So like, you know, like I want to use this as well to, you know, to help that and to like bring some more not attention to it, but more I guess awareness with a lot of stuff. Um, so
Well, they may not know anything about streaming. Like you said, there's a lot of people that don't know about it. And if you bring that to them, like,
yeah,
hey, I'm a partner, I'm a mixer. Let me be the one to bring you into the scene and show you what it's about and see how many amazing people. Dude, there's so many veterans out here on not only Mixer, but in any content creation in general. There's so many veterans out there that, like you said, come to gaming to get their mind off of stress, whether it be at home or life or work or stuff like that. I mean, you can meet so many people out there. Veterans love to game. You know it, and I know it because I love it too. It's a great outlet to relieve stress. Or, anything that's going on in your life, or just even meet your buddies that are across the world that you could play with somebody else that that you were in their their group or their branch and you spent time with them and it's just a good time to catch up with them and spend time with them in general because it's hard to meet your friends across the world or across the state whatever because we all have families and work and everything stuff like that. So that's why I love it too because I get to talk with family and friends from everywhere.
yeah.
Whether or not it be streaming or not, I can just jump on the Xbox and like, hey, bud, it's play a game, catch up on life.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mixer, man. It's just I love the
Yeah,
how it's just like, I mean, it's worldwide, like, and I met other veterans from different countries, like different armies and stuff.
that's great, man.
I mean, like, I want to say like a good amount of my viewers are Canadian, man. Shout out to my Canadian people, man. Um,
I
but
love Canada.
they're just so. I mean, this inadvertently has helped me out a lot too because like before this too, I was completely like isolated for a long time. This actually
Yeah.
got me, talking more and engaging more, and not so much with like the outside world, but like this is a
Hmm.
start for me,
Yeah.
That's the other thing that when I was talking to, because I went to an event like last month, I want to say, with Wounded Warrior Project, and I had talked to somebody, and I had told them I was like, hey, this is, this has been helping me. I'm
Hmm.
like, if it helped me, there might be a possibility that it can help somebody else, So,
Exactly.
and like when I had brought the streaming stuff, they were like, what's that? And I was just like, there you go. It's an opportunity right here.
That's awesome, dude. I hope you can. I pray that you can put that together, man, because it'd be really awesome. Like I said, there's a lot of people that would love to have that outlet, and like I said, it could be like that segue to eventually go out into the real world and be more social. Like I said, a lot of people have a lot of, you know, you can, I guess, what's the word to slip in my mind? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart.
It happens to me.
Y'all have some not similar stories, but y'all can relate to each other. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all can definitely relate to each other and share the stories, and you can like I said, share that story with them. Like, hey, this is how I got started. I was just like you before that, and this is how I got to where I am now, and that's where I want to get you. If it helps you, not everything. It's not a perfect solution anyway, but it
Yeah.
definitely can help.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Anything that helps you out or helps you, like develop into like a better person, like I always
Hmm.
say anything and, anything helps.
Yeah. Well, I pray that you can get that together, man, because that'd be really awesome. I would love to help out if I can too. So,
And we'll see what
uh,
in the
oh, for sure, bro,
future.
for sure. Is there anybody when you're not streaming? I'm sure you have your own community. You have a set community already, but is there anybody that you love to watch that kind of inspires you to stream or do something?
um, uh,
You can shout them out. Anybody that I probably need to check out just in case. Like there's somebody
well,
out there.
honestly, I the like I said, the streaming world it's still is new to me because
Hmm.
I was one of those few people I guess that like when people were like, "Oh, Ninja's coming to Mixer," I was like, I didn't know who he was or even Shroud or none of them. Like I just
Yeah.
didn't really like I said, I'm still learning to stuff, but the one person that I do watch and that I really enjoy is as Doctor Disrespect.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
He's entertaining as hell, dude.
yeah, like he's a genius in my opinion. Like
Hmm.
what he's
Yeah.
been able to create. But there's also not only do I look at also just their content, like I know if he's had some issues, once you become once you get up to a higher level, people all up in your business. But one thing that
Exactly.
I do admire about him is that he does a lot, and this is just my opinion. He does a lot with the
Yeah.
veteran community.
Okay.
So he's done charity stuff, he's donated money. Um, he's what was there was a competition not too long ago. I think it was like the Call of Duty Bowl or something like that. And
Okay.
he actually he was competing with a Green Beret. That was his teammate. And so
Okay.
he was doing something with the Army esports program, because the Army created an esports program right now.
I saw that at PAX South, dude. They had him there. They had a booth. That was
I
crazy.
know. I was so jealous of you guys, man. I was like, man. Uh, but
I was really trying to get you to go, dude. I know we talked about it.
yeah,
in
but
the
I'll be
early
going
stages.
to Pac West though, for
Okay.
sure. I'll be going to Pac West. Obviously it's closer to me, and I have enough time.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a 60-40 for me. 60, I might go. I just gotta wait for the dates to confirm, and then I might be flying my flights. It's just, I think I heard it's on Labor Day weekend, and it's really hard for law enforcement to take off any weekend, especially a
yeah,
holiday weekend. They're gonna give me hell no to take off that weekend. But I think it may work out, or I might be off. But I'm just still waiting on something before I buy my ticket.
yeah. I'm still waiting. They haven't. I've been looking every day, but I have not seen a dates released yet or anything like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to go to one of those, man, because
Mm-hmm.
I am going to Pac West and I am going to E3. E3 is definitely a must for me, just because it's 30 minutes away from me. So I need to
You
go.
have no excuse, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
I want to go back to what you were talking about. You said Dr. Disrespect was working with Army Esports.
yeah,
I didn't want to skip over that.
he's been highly involved with that, and he's also involved with the Call of Duty Veteran Endowment. So he's helped raise money to help veterans with employment opportunities and stuff like that. So you know and then if you watch him, and he's always giving shout outs to service members, and he's I don't know how he does it, or I don't know if how it works, but I'll be watching him and he'll be oh, shout out to Sergeant so and so from this unit, and I'm just oh, that's tight. But everybody's different.
Yeah.
I just like him because he does that, but he's just freaking entertaining, man.
He is.
He
is, man.
My wife is she's also like me. She has no idea, or I had no idea about the streaming stuff. But I introduced her to Dr. Disrespect, and now sometimes I'll catch her like this, watching a clip or something, So
she's left you and started watching Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, she don't even watch my stream anymore.
She's a sub to him and everything.
But yeah, I just
That's awesome.
I think he's just, I mean, he's
inspiring.
a two-time champion, and he's won the streaming award I think, how many times has he won it? 3 times in a row. He's doing it, man.
Yeah. He inspires us for sure. I mean, he's a great entertainer for sure. He does a lot, like I say, he does a lot of stuff outside of streaming itself. So that means more than the streaming world overall. I think what you do outside of this means more than what you do on stream for sure.
Yeah,
you can give it back to your community. I think that adds to your legacy. People are gonna remember you for the stuff you did outside, not what you did. I'm sure they still appreciate it, but you could do a lot more off camera for sure. Let me see if I have anything else, but I'll give everybody a chance right now. If y'all have any questions for Rod, go and start piling them up. We'll definitely start, give him a chance to answer questions. I want to get him out as soon as possible. So,
yeah. So my wife
everybody has a question. Exactly. I don't want him to lose his life today. He just got partnered, man. I want him to continue his streaming life. So,
I can still hear you, but I need to get my charger real quick.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. Miss anything else? Well, I guess we kind of touched about it, but let me see if there's anything else to touch about. Now that you're partnered, what are your future ambitions with the community? Like I said, I know you mentioned working with the Wounded Warriors and anything else that you think you're gonna do with your the stream itself.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I honestly don't think that you're ever that well, at least for me, I don't think I'm ever gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm always trying to find a way to improve the stream somehow, some way. Um, and so like my next goal now is to actually have I need to look into having like an actual streaming setup. So I want to get a PC. I want to get something about like those what do you call it? Like the stream deck, a mic. I'm gonna start investing slowly into like all that.
Okay.
And then I want to like I mean I do have a lot of ideas. Like I absolutely love what you're doing with your showcase, I think it's
Yeah.
like really cool. I've also thought about doing something like this, but not necessarily this way. Mine would be more in on the side of comedy because
Yeah.
I was doing stand up for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
I kind of want to continue doing it, but if I do, it's gonna be somehow I'm gonna incorporate comedy into the stream. Uh,
Okay.
I just like I have all these ideas, but sometimes like I don't implement them, or other stuff comes up, or
Yeah.
you know, so like, but yeah, man, it's I plan to have uh like upgrading the stream, so like doing an intro, and you know there's just so much stuff that I can't wait to start doing, but I'm gonna start doing it little by little, improving. I mean, I
Yeah.
think like everybody always tries to find new little things to add, like either like logos or mute or like little like, what am I trying to say? Like there's always room for improvement for
Yeah.
starters, right? So like sometimes I'll go on Streamlabs and I'll try to look, okay, what can I add? Can I add like this overlay? Can I do this animated thing? Like, or so there's always gonna be something.
Yeah. That's also like I know a lot of people have expressed this already. Like partnership is not the end goal. Like
No,
basically partnership is the beginning. Like this is
exactly.
where you begin your brand, you begin your business, and that's just like one stepping stone. It's just one more tool you added to your toolbox to become a better influencer or better content creator and a better person overall. So, like this is just the beginning for you and everybody else that just hit partner.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude. I know Viv wanted to ask you, how did you come up with your name? What's the story behind that?
So Viv, and actually she's I want to say she's a like an awesome supporter too, because I do see her around
Hmm.
a lot, and so that's like really awesome. So it's not very it's simple actually. So in the military, we don't go off of we don't address each other by our first names. Only officers and high ranking officials do that. Um,
Yeah.
but so we always go by last name. My last name is Rodriguez. So in basic training, I guess it was just too hard to say Rodriguez, so they were just like Rod, Private Rod, and so yeah, well, my whole military career, I was either Rod or Sergeant Rod.
Hmm.
But leg is a term for infantry guys that are non airborne. So
Okay.
like even within like there's always like competition within the different branches, like army, navy, we all make fun of each other, talk smack about each other. And even within like the army itself, like like different components, like you got artillery or infantry, stuff like that. And so like we have air assault, airborne, and light infantry, mechanized infantry. So yeah, so basically it's just I'm just a grunt. So RodTheLeg. So
That's basically that's like a simple enough answer. I'm sure like even military personnel themselves will understand what your name is. Like,
yeah,
oh,
oh
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
When I have other veterans that come in all the time, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that
No, you're good.
I end before my computer dies. Um, but yeah, even like during stream, I'll get other veterans that will come in and they'll say like, "Oh, you're not airborne, okay." I'll hold that against you, but it is what it is.
It's that banter between all the branches and themselves for sure.
Yep.
I know, like, yeah, my parents were Air Force, so I know all the crap that people would talk, either with their friends and other other branches. Totally understand.
Yeah, and actually, I'm curious to know what about with like law enforcement, like for example, like state
Yeah.
police, local law
Mm-hmm.
enforcement, sheriffs, highway
Yeah.
patrol. You guys have
Yeah.
that too?
Oh yeah, exactly, for sure. Like the sheriff's office are always the hicks, like they're always the rednecks that we're always talking crap about. Like they don't know anything. They're out there uh arresting cows and horses, and they're not doing any real work. So. And then the highway patrol, they're all just like real like stuck up pricks, and all they want to do is write tickets on the highway. They don't want to do anything else. So yeah, believe me, we do talk crap all the time, all the time.
I love what Vamp said. Navy is just taxi service of the Air Force.
An expensive taxi.
Yep.
That's awesome.
See, I was looking.
Let me see. I think there was something that somebody in your community asked a question.
Yeah, Vamp.
Oh, vampire. Yeah, yeah.
So actually, Vamp, I actually just finished talking to Jungle, Jordy, and Tech about that. I told them I was like, we need to do like a co-stream. So I'm gonna be doing a lot. So like
Well,
the
before we go into this, can you explain what that is? I know is that your team that you got going?
yeah. So this is Fort Keeps Gaming is something that me, Jungle, Tech, and Jordy football created within our like
Okay.
selves. Just kind of like our own like little like support system. Um, The problem with that we've had is like scheduling conflicts because like Jungle's up in Canada, and then like everybody's like Jordy's up in or Virginia or Maryland, and then so like just the different time zones. Some people work at certain times, and it's been kind of difficult to get like an actual schedule like going, but also like I've been so focused on like this grind for like partnership. So like now that is like that pressure is kind of like off of me. Now I can now I'm gonna start doing like I'm gonna start changing stuff around. My main focus of the stream is still gonna remain to always interact with my viewers and play, but I want to start doing like team co-streams. I want to do like that like a comedy segment, and then like I also want to like have like some friendly competitions with some of you other streamers, So
Nice.
there's a lot of changes that I'm gonna start implementing in terms of like what I'm gonna like be doing. So
Okay. That's awesome, dude. Well, hopefully that answered your question, Vamp. I don't know if she had anything else.
yeah, was that good enough for you, Vamp? And Jen, I was gonna say Jen, Eric Live, I appreciate that.
I love Jen and Eric. I actually interviewed them 2 weeks ago. I think like 2 Fridays ago. They're amazing, amazing couple. Definitely show them some love. They're on their way to partnership as well. I have another question. When you host after you're done, what is it you look for? Like, Viv, are you asking like what are you looking for in the other person you're hosting?
I mean,
or is there anything you look for?
So, hi, Eileen. The biggest, I know this is gonna be like a biased like answer, but because I think we had talked about this too, like about having a camera. Like
yeah,
I tend to only host people with cameras, and it's nothing personal. It's just my preference because I love to see their reaction. You know what I'm saying when they're getting hosted. Because and then I've actually had a few fails because like I hosted this one girl. I look at the game that I'm playing and I look at their numbers and and all that other stuff as well.
yeah.
But like I have gone into some people's streams where like I host them and the chat is going off with whatever, and they're
The
like
raid and everything. Yeah.
0 acknowledgement for like 5 minutes. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going on to the next person, but I do tend to look for people who who have a camera. I love seeing people's reactions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's fun when you go in there with a bunch of people, and then there's like, what's going on, and and I and
Dude,
I
so do you typically host people that are like not in your community, or how often do you
uh,
you
I
host
was
somebody that you
I
know and
was
versus somebody you don't know?
I haven't done it in a while.
Okay.
And I mean, it's like I need to like reorganize and structure myself a little bit better because I want to have like scheduled times where it's somebody completely random that
Yeah.
you know and then also do people within the mixer community, not just m- I don't want to say mine, I want to say like just the mixer community in general, because like the biggest thing that I enjoy seeing is just like people like in different chats like all the time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I
Just
just
mingling together.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. What's up, Yeti?
Yeah, that's great, man. Like you said, it's awesome. There are a lot of fails, believe me, that I've been banned in someone's chat after I rated them. Like that's happened to me before. That was a major fail. I was so mad. I was like, I brought over. I think I was playing Rainbow Six Siege, and I had like a decent crowd. And I was like, you know what? My own personal decision is always like 3/4. So I'll host 3 people that I don't know, and then that fourth one I will host somebody that I do know. Like I like that was especially in the beginning. I was trying to connect with so many other streamers on the platform. I was trying to get to know other communities, and what other way to get to know somebody than to bring your own community to theirs and try to, like you said, try to mingle and try to mesh together, get to know them, and have just a blast. Just rating them with whatnot. So I had that experience where I actually got banned in someone's chat because, and my not only myself but other people that were rating because he didn't want them spamming in chat. Yeah, Van was with me. Fantastic TV was with me. He banned me and him like so fast because we were rating. I'm like, what?
You know what
How does that
though?
even happen?
The thing is, I want to say, isn't there a setting? Like, I want to say that there's a setting on the Mixer dashboard with regards to that, or like, I don't know, they're doing something, they're gonna do something, or heard rumors, I don't know about like where your channel will state it whether it's like raid friendly or not.
Yeah,
If I can't
yeah.
remember correctly, I think I heard or seen something. You know,
I know people will put stuff in their title, like whether or not they're raid friendly or not. That was one of the things when I started off streaming. That was something that everybody put in their title, whether or not they were raid friendly or not. I just don't see the, I don't see
yeah,
the
exactly.
downside of not doing it at all. Like, why wouldn't you want somebody to come raid your channel?
I
That
mean,
that's my own personal opinion about it. I don't know.
I mean, it could be just that some people like doing stuff on their own. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, when I first started streaming, I thought that I was gonna be able to do everything on my own without any help from anybody, and that was not the case at all.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say something about I think it was Ben Eric Live about. I think they said that they take the people were talking about that. They are taking their streaming serious too,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, it's that comes also to like what I was talking about earlier when you know if you have people coming in and they're trying to talk to you, you know, eventually they're just gonna leave because they're just gonna be like, well, he's not talking to me. Like with you, for example, like I do watch you playing FIFA sometimes. So like I see you're like, you're
Bad
immersed in
example.
the game. But I come in and I'm just watching you, and I'm not saying nothing because I know I already know you. But somebody who doesn't know you and they come in, they're gonna start typing. They might be like, oh, well, this guy's not paying attention to me. I mean, it's happened to me too, especially when I'm playing Apex and I'm like zoned out. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like they'll say hi, and then on like Mix It Up, I'll see like after a few minutes of me not saying nothing to them, they'll leave. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something like I try to like. I know there's a couple times where I will get immersed in the game, and I have to remind myself like there's got to be a mental clock in my head. Like, hey, you haven't said anything in a few minutes. You better say something, especially if there's somebody new in chat that doesn't, like you said, it doesn't know, is not familiar with me and how I play FIFA. I got to at least step up and say like, hey, anybody who's new in chat, just give me a few minutes. I'm focusing on the game. I'll be right with you. And it's just something I have to do better. in order,
Or
especially when I'm playing FIFA.
do you have one thing that I started doing is I have a command that says
Mm-hmm.
like it says something like uh what does it say? Hold on, let me tell you exactly. I got my mix it up app right now
Pull it up.
because I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and it's not gonna like not gonna work. Oh, dang it. And see, I still need help with a lot of this stuff, but
Oh, exclamation point FF, is that what Vamp is bringing up?
yep, there you go. See, man,
Okay.
and Vamp, I'm telling you, man,
Yeah,
Vamp
he knows.
is the ish. But mine
Mm-hmm.
says RodTheLeg is currently in a fierce battle, but will respond back to the HQ once he has eliminated the threat. You know, like
Yeah,
it's just a little,
something simple as that.
it's a little
Yeah.
something that people can, you know, uh, like when they see that, they know, like, once I'm done, I'll come back. But I mean, it
Yeah.
happens a lot in like in Apex for me.
Yeah. I like I said, we talked about that. Those final situations where you're in like a top three, like you're down to whoever wins the game. There's gonna be those moments in the game where you maybe just focus the game more than you would the chat, and it just happens. It happens to everybody. Like there's those moments you don't want to take your attention away. It happened to me that I think that day you were in recently, like I was just like I looked at this chat for 1 second, and as I was doing it, I was trying to make a pass to somebody, and it totally screwed up, and I got scored on. I was just so mad at myself. I was so mad, but it is what it is. I can't be too mad because, like I said, the community should come first.
Yep. I was watching that.
I was mad, dude. I was so mad. Does anybody else have any questions for Rod or for myself or whatever? I mean, we're definitely here to spread the knowledge as
Yeah,
much as I can. I don't want to keep him back.
I'm taking notes.
Rod, do you have any questions for me?
Well, I think I already. Well, I was curious about the the sheriff and the highway patrol
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you need to be interviewed yourself.
I'm down for it. Totally down for it.
Yeah. I'm what in regards to like PAX, like the because you went to
Mm-hmm.
PAX South, like
But
what
the
would
two so
what
far.
would you? Well, there you seasoned. You're seasoned. What what like what is it that you should expect, or like I guess, so like for me, for example, I'm not too sure what the point of PAX like South or West or East is, because like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not into this like world or whatever. Like I'm
Yeah.
still learning. But for someone who is me, like a noob that doesn't know, like what would
Mm-hmm.
you tell people that need to know before going? What should like? Because I've heard people taking like stickers or like promoting them. So like what would tell somebody that has never been to PAX? Like what is the like what a must things that must be done, not that must be done, but would you recommend somebody
Yeah.
doing
They're already answering you in the chat, man. So networking is one of the biggest things. Here's the thing I will tell you from what I've heard about. So all the three different PAXs that we have here in the U.S. They seem like they're all different in their own way. So I've heard South, which is the one here in San Antonio, is more intimate. It's not as big as East. I think East I heard is the biggest one.
I heard that.
It's not as I heard South is so much more intimate. You have more time to interact with not only other streamers and Mixer or whoever. Um, but it seems like to me this, especially this last one, and the best way I think somebody described it is it felt like a family reunion. Like there was so many other not only streamers and partners and other people there were so many other viewers that came down, and we just had like a blast just hanging out, like genuinely hanging out, talking amongst each other. It was just an absolute amazing time. I haven't been to East and West yet, but from what I've heard is that East is more business oriented. There's a lot more vendors, there's a lot more other people you may want to have sponsorships with, and I think West is almost similar to that in that regard as well, because not only is West in Seattle, but I mean they have Microsoft there. They're gonna have the Microsoft booth. There's gonna be so many reps from Mixer. They're gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I would just prepare yourself. Almost treat it like a business trip. You may not have as much time as you would in South because it's gonna be more business oriented. You're gonna want to meet those mixer reps, especially if you're gonna push for something that you want to do with mixer. And when say you wanted to push the Wounded Warrior project with them, you would have to have some kind of business plan to bring with them, and try to talk to the big reps up there while you're there. They're gonna have mixer parties, just mixer partner parties only, and because that's something they had down here. They had one big huge party and after parties and all that stuff. So if you're not, I mean, just kind of prepare yourself. If I don't know if you like doing the whole party scene, I don't know what it's gonna be like in general, but I'm sure they're gonna want you to attend something mixer related. That way they can kind of like. I'm sure they have a business plan they want to push out to all of y'all. I wish I had that experience because I don't know what they do in those parties, but I've heard bring business cards. I know Generic brought business cards. They brought swag like stickers, buttons, and stuff like that. If you want to push that out to any other partner streamers that you want to co-stream with Tanzi, or you want to co-stream with Ninja, or whoever shows up, bring that mindset with you. Like, this is a business trip. This is where I'm gonna meet all the big wigs here.
Yeah.
But South does seem like I said, it seemed more intimate. Like it was just everybody was mingling with each other. There are mixer reps or people there they're gonna be working for mixer, but it just seemed like everybody was just hanging out, having a great time.
For sure. Look forward to going Wave High.
Oh, dude,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna have a blast.
I want to answer these two questions before I gotta go because I'm already.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
Vamp with the opinions on co-streaming. I think that if you co-stream with like friends, like actual friends, you'll be fine. If you try to co-stream with like people that you don't know, it might be problematic. At least for me, it has, because like I had tried co-streaming or I did a co-stream with like my cousin like a while, like this is like the early times, and he was getting upset at me because I was getting follows and he wasn't.
Oh wow.
So there was like certain issues either with audio or music, and so as long as everybody's on the same page and like I think that there should be no issue. But
Yeah.
if you're just trying to co-stream with someone you don't really know, because I feel like you're either your personalities kind of have to like match somewhat, because like I kind of try to look at it as like I don't know, like high school you have all the jocks and the goths. You know what I mean? It would be like kind of like weird if like like you're into like heavy metal and that's your whole
Yeah.
theme, and you're playing that music, and then somebody who's like chill and like has no music. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes it's difficult because the communities might not mesh well together. Like I've had issues where somebody like didn't like what they were saying, and then so that my viewer the left because they didn't like what the other people. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it can be somewhat problematic, but if you were tight with that person, then there should be no issue.
Awesome.
And circumcised. What's next now? Partner is done. What's next goal? I was briefly talking about this. So like I'm gonna start doing like I'm gonna start doing co-streams with like my team, but for Keeps Gaming and also Penny's Battleground, because I did create a stream team for that. The comedy, like I want to do like a comedy segment either before or after my stream, or and that's gonna be an impromptu comedy sketch. That way, it's like you get the real like live, comedy, and then just working with like other. I want to be more involved. Like I want to represent like Wounded Warrior Project or like Sacrifice Fund officially. Like they've already done a lot for me and a bunch of other veterans, but I want to like do more. I want more involvement with them.
That's great, dude. I definitely see it coming for you, man. Like you worked hard to get to this position, and it was a long time coming for you and your community. So I definitely see it. If you pushed hard for this and you put all this focus into getting partnership, I can definitely see you putting that together. Maybe like tying the knot, with Mixer and other military organizations, nonprofit organizations for sure, dude.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of I just love Mixer, man. People are so supportive and they help. There's a lot of people that help out each other, and awesome, man. I can love it.
Oh man, well, I'm glad you came here, man. I was really happy for you. Like I said, you getting a partner. Like it's just the beginning for you. obviously, and it's just the beginning for your community. So it's amazing having you here and taking the time away from your wife and your family just to be here for now almost 2 hours. Hopefully, I didn't get you killed, but hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully your community had a great time as well. I appreciate everybody coming and checking this out. So, just to sign you off, where can we find you at?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Where can we find you at? Like social media wise and everything else.
Oh, so everything is, well, important thing too. Make sure account and name should be the same as your social media. So everything is at RodTheLeg.
Okay.
I got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Those are the three
Okay.
ones. At least that's what I was told. You have to have Twitter's like number one, then Instagram, and then Facebook. So
awesome.
those are must.
Awesome, bro.
So RodTheLeg, just like how you have right
YouTube
there.
yet? Have you gotten to YouTube?
No, there's a lot of. I gotta do some research, man, because I have seen some people, or a partner inquire about, because I guess like once you make partner, like you're not supposed to like take people out of Mixer onto other platforms. So I need to like, really like, do some research and find out what it is I need to do. Cause like I said, I'm all about Mixer, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna continue with them.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, I'm sure you got more research to do.
Yep, and that too. And I'm not very tech savvy either, so like I need to, Usually when I'm trying to get Streamlabs to work, I'm like over here.
Dude, I know.
Stuff.
Yeah. How about that? Oh, she's attacking the balloons. I appreciate it, man. I'll let you get out of here. So I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much, man. Oh, for sure. I'll definitely see you later. All right, guys. All right. Later, man.
Peace out, everybody. Much love to you guys. Penny, come say bye.
I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back. Go ahead.
Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Bye, Aline. Don't tell my wife I was still here. Say bye to everybody. Say bye. Say bye.
There she is. I'm sorry. There she is. Later, man.
All right, man. Have a good night. Peace out, guys.
You too.